Welcome to the AI Automations for Business podcast. We're your hosts, Katie and Noel, and we'll be discussing how you can use AI for your business along with the latest news, updates, and automations to help you stay ahead of the curve, allowing you to grow and scale your business more efficiently. Please be sure to subscribe, and I hope you enjoy this episode. Hello, welcome back to another episode. Hi, hello, I'm Katie. And as always, I have Noel here with me. How you doing, Noel?
Yeah, doing great as always, thank you. Yeah.
Good eye. I feel like it hasn't been that much of a crazy week in the world of AI, but actually, if I start to think about it, and very often, so Noel and I both work at home but in different offices, and we come downstairs to have lunch together, and it's usually something business related, and I'm just thinking back to like our lunchtime kitchen chats and how much of that has been occupied by AI, and actually quite a lot since our last podcast episode.
Yeah, there's been a fair few things going on, hasn't there?
Yeah. So I was obviously very excited because I thought I had found something AI related that you might not have heard of. And I was really excited to tell you. But
Yeah.
of course Noel's heard about it. So I kind of burst into Noel's office, and after I'd seen a TikTok, and I was like, Noel, have you heard of Kimi 2.5?
Oh, yes. Of course I have.
Darn. Well, listeners, he did not share that information with me.
No, well, it came out at the wrong time because it got lost in all the noise of OpenClaw and Claude Bot and Maltbook and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah.
Poor Jimmy K.
Poor timing on their part, but yeah, it did get into my YouTube, so yeah, I did watch a few bits about it.
Okay, so what can you tell us about it?
So mostly, I guess it's kind of like a normal chatbot, like ChatGPT, Claude kind of thing. It's got the usual stuff, so reasoning and searching and all those sort of good things. But there are some bits that does make it a bit more unique. So they have the ability to build websites. So that's a dedicated area within that chat window. So I guess they've trained it a lot more on website design and things like that. Because one thing I find is most vibe-coded or AI-created websites, they all kind of look the same. They all use the same component libraries, and they use similar colours. And it's quite hard to make something look unique. I've been trying to do that last week. But so yeah, they've got that part in there, and I guess the other part is they've introduced something called an agent swarm, which is really interesting. So you could give it like a really complex task to do, and it would then go off and create up to 100 mini agents that would go off and piece it all together and do little bits on its own little thing, and then collate it all back and then give you the response. So that's something that doesn't really get done currently. I think you can do it inside Claude Code. I think that's in there, but yeah, it's kind of buried a little bit. But this is the first time we've seen it in like a ChatGPT style interface, which is pretty cool.
So I guess the question is, would you be willing to use Kimi 2.5?
So,
because I think that's what everyone wants to know. Would Noel use it?
That's very true. Yeah.
Is it very true?
If not, why not?
All right. God, blow your own trumpet.
Someone has to. So I don't know, actually. I've tested it out, of course. I haven't really let it loose on any business tasks just yet. I've got other things I've been tinkering with, but it is a model from China, so it is in the realm of DeepSeek and do we trust where the data's going and all that sort of that debate. comes back round that we had this time last year.
Mm.
So yeah, I don't know. I would have to do a bit more digging into the privacy and how data gets stored before I could rubber stamp it and say, yeah, I would happily give my personal, or not personal but business data to it.
Yeah. Okay. All right,
Yeah.
well, we'll stand by on that one and wait to see what happens. But if
Yeah.
you're using it, we would obviously love to hear from you. Do let us know either in the LinkedIn group or drop us an email. We'll put those details below for you. So yeah, feel free, because we always love hearing from you guys.
Absolutely.
Okay, so shall we get into this week's episode, Noel?
Yeah, absolutely. Why not?
It's all about AI. Does it reduce work? Does it create work?
Yeah, it's an interesting take, because I initially spotted this on my Substack feed, and someone had created a post very similar to the title you've just described there, and I was like, really? What's going on here? Surely AI should be reducing workload and making you more efficient and not creating more. So yeah, I was like, that's an interesting take. So I done a bit of a bit more digging on that one
Yeah.
to find out a bit more.
So we've actually got a report that Harvard Business Review did, and I do find their reports quite interesting. They do a lot on all sorts really, but they've done some really good ones on community and things like that before. So yeah, I find they're always well written and easy to read. There's not a lot of like jargon and stuff with them. So with that in mind, with the Harvard Business Review findings, I think it's quite good to go through the key takeaways from that, and let's have a bit of a chat through them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I guess the first one I guess we would talk about is, it's not saving time, but it's kind of filling that time saved. So you might have saved 10 minutes, but then you're using AI to fill that 10-minute gap. And you're adding more stuff to your plate, I guess, was the first key takeaway.
Yeah. So I'm going to give an example of this. So I feel like when it comes to me creating content, so at the moment for my own business, I'm really trying to get into TikTok. I'm doing like this 30-day TikTok challenge. So for me, obviously, I'm creating a lot of videos. So when I first started this challenge, like TikTok, it's a new platform for my business, and it is very different to other platforms. It's very different to Instagram in terms of like what you have to post and stuff like that. So I was thinking, oh well, my mate Claude can help me out with this. And actually I was wasting so much time with Claude, whereas I was kind of like, right, I know kind of like the content pillars that I want, as in like I need to do some storytelling content, I need to do some problem aware content, and then I just started writing out my own hooks. And I was like, would this entice me? Yes or no? And like no's, I was just tweaking myself. And then I was able to just kind of like do free form with the video. So I had my hook and I knew what I could talk about. Whereas at the very beginning, I was like asking Claude not only to write some hooks for me, obviously I gave it all the details, and then it was writing scripts for me, and I was like trying to like be perfect with this script.
Yeah.
So then I was having to do God knows how many takes.
Yeah, I could never do that. I could never read a script.
So actually I've saved myself time by just doing it myself.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, because you kind of figure out in this AI world, we kind of figure out what we, can and shouldn't use it for. I guess it's like, well,
Yeah.
you can give it a go and then, realize, oh, actually, I could be a bit more creative or save a bit of time just by doing it myself, I guess.
Yeah. And I still kind of use it to help me, like with blog posts, in terms of like, can you like list some bullet points for me? But again, it's me writing it, and
Mm-hmm.
actually, rather than asking Claude to write it for me and then me having to go through and edit it and making sure it sounds like me and removing things that I wouldn't say, or thinking, oh right, well it said this and now I need to like kind of like make it a bit more human or add a story into it. And I was just thinking, like, just give me some like key points, because then I can just kind of like write freely, and actually it takes so much less time.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
But am I filling that time with other things?
Yeah. I find I do when
I
I
think
do it.
when I was really using Claude a lot for my content, and I'm sorry, this is the only example I've got, because I do create so much flipping content. I I was trying to fill my time with other things, and I found myself procrastinating a lot more. So I was either filling my time with other tasks, or I was like doom scrolling, basically.
Waiting for it to be done.
I'm just going to be honest. Like, it's kind of like, oh well, I've done that and I've done that and I've done that. Don't know what to do next. Haven't got like calls for a while, and yeah, I would find that actually I was either doom scrolling or just filling it, going, oh, I could do this, I could do this, I could do this.
Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah. I
now,
find that a lot with co-work.
do you?
Yeah, so Claude co-work saves me a lot of time.
Yeah,
So, when we process the podcasts and things like that, all I've got to do is give it the transcript, and then that kind of starts the process and uses all the skills. And that could take probably about 15 minutes to complete. But yeah, I just then like, I'm sat around twiddling my thumbs thinking, well, now what do I do?
yeah.
So I open another tab of Claude and I'm like, well, and off I go again. It's like,
Mm.
yeah.
And another thing that the Harvard Business Review said regarding this, it was about task expansion. So people start doing jobs that weren't theirs because AI makes it feel possible. So business owner who used to outsource copywriting or basic code now thinks, oh, I'll get like Claude to do it or OpenAI to do it, and suddenly they're like juggling extra responsibilities.
Yeah. They've saved that 10 minutes, with AI doing that task, and then they've expanded their job role,
Yeah,
straight away. Yeah. It's interesting how that works. I can see why. I mean, I obviously do. I'm not a coder or a programmer, so I end up doing stuff with Claude Code and things like that, and building things that previously would have been impossible for me to do without lots of learning. So I do get that it does creep in a bit. But at the same time, if you're building something that's going to be generally useful for your business, either generating revenue, getting new leads, or it's going to be something that's going to save you time, be helpful, then why not? I guess. But yeah, I can see on scale in a business, it could be quite hard to manage people and making sure that they're staying in their designated roles. They're not,
they're
branching
not
out and all of a sudden
taking
doing.
on more responsibilities, and therefore then all of a sudden not getting paid for it. I can totally see that happening.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Yeah. I
It's
think it's
dangerous.
really important, isn't it? It's practicing those boundaries, kind of just say, actually, this isn't part of my responsibility, especially like for freelancers, contractors. I think that's really important. If any of our listeners are freelancers or contractors, I think it's really important to have that in.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Don't get carried away.
No. The next thing that the Harvard Business Review found was like work becomes ambient. You're always on, never quite done. And it was saying about the quick last prompt before I leave, which is apparently a habit. I'm guessing this is like more for those who are employed rather than for our, business owners.
Yes. Yeah, but I think you can kind of get stuck in it as well as a business owner, because obviously with these sort of models, like you could be sat having lunch and then just think, oh, you know what, I'll just ask this question now, and then, or get it to research something for me while I'm doing, cooking dinner or whatever.
Yeah, I'll just get it up and running. So by the time it's had a think about it and spat out an answer, it'd be ready for when I'm ready.
Exactly. Yeah, I have a very big habit of doing that. Which you probably don't know about, but yeah, before lunch, or if there's anything I think, oh, you know what, I could set Claude off to work on this for, and it'll be done by the time I've had lunch or whatever. Then I'll do that. I'd never chat to it, like during break periods. I mean, I'm quite good at that. I'd never chat to it on an evening.
No.
Unless there's some sort of trivia question or something. I'm like, is that true?
Okay. Yeah.
Or something like that. Yeah.
I'm guessing as well, like if you're running automations, I feel like it almost doesn't feel like work, because you're like, well, I'm just going to set this automation off and actually it's just going to run, and really it's saving me time. But yeah.
It's interesting how it's starting to leak into people's lives, isn't it?
Yeah. And sometimes actually when I feel like either maybe I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed, or like what is, something that I need to overcome or work out. Whereas like maybe before, I don't know, I might have had like a coach or actually spoken to a human. I'm asking, Claude or something like that. And yeah, it's kind of like, it doesn't almost feel like work, but actually it's business related. So therefore it is work.
Yeah.
And of course it's so easy to do, like, when you are sat on the sofa on an evening or, on a weekend, a thought pops into your head, and of course we've just got it at our fingertips, haven't we?
Yeah. I've had ideas and I was just like, oh, I'll put that in there, and then just close it and then be like, oh, I'll come back to that like on Monday, see what it comes back with. I wouldn't. I don't tend to go full in my spare time. I don't think. At least
no,
I think
you've got lots better with that.
Yeah, I used to.
Yeah,
but
you
now
used to be terrible for it.
I've learnt that boundary.
Well done. It's only taken about 5 years, so I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
So the next thing it mentions is multitasking. No, I don't really feel like multitasking is a bad thing.
No, I do also fall into this quite a bit as well. So I'll have.
You can multitask.
Only with AI, yes.
Oh.
Not generally, no.
No, I was going to say this is news to me.
No, so I would say, where was it? So last week I was building a web app and getting ready for to show it to a potential customer this week. So I was like, I would have Claude Code working away doing that part, And then I got started thinking about websites. So then I had Claude Code somewhere else doing, the front end web design. And then I'd be chopping and changing between the two. So yes, I'm, creating thousands of lines of code without doing anything. That's great. But it does become difficult to, remember and get the context right for each thing. So like, well, what did that one do half an hour ago? I haven't looked at it.
Yeah.
What did I ask it to do? And then it's like, well, yeah, right, now I can go again and ask it to do something else and then move back over to the websites and stuff. Yeah.
So with that multitasking, do you think it actually creates more work for you?
It saves work in terms of I don't have to sit there and write every line of code.
Yeah.
One, because I couldn't, but even if I could, I couldn't type that speed if I tried.
Yeah. Okay.
So yes, it saves that time, but it's also, I guess, there's going back and reading and checking what it's done and things like that. So that can slow things down a bit, I would say. So yeah, I would spend more time thinking about, it's done this. What was I going to do next? I can't remember, so I have to think about that for a bit, and then go, right, oh, that was it, and then set it off again. So yeah, it takes a bit. You've almost got to get back up to speed with each task as it finishes.
But does that make you feel productive? Because
yeah.
I'm guessing that might be your outcome. Is it to feel productive or accomplished? Like what does it actually make you feel like, being able to multitask those different AI or automation tasks?
I guess it does make me feel more productive. I think it gives you that sense of achievement as well, because there's, not only did I get this app ready, but then, I created like some hero images, and I was sending those off to people to say, well, what sort of designs do you like, and that sort of stuff. So I created like 11 sample hero images that were in there, were all done with AI. That task on itself only took about an hour and a half. So imagine trying to think of a design, code the design. Yeah, it just I could never have done that in an hour and a half.
Okay.
So yeah, definitely feel a lot more productive. But
okay, yeah, okay. So let's go back through those 4 like main points that the report found, and we'll go. Let's go through and kind of say, like, do we agree? Do we disagree? Or maybe what we would do. So it fills the time you saved.
I would agree with that. Yes,
I'm also going to agree with that.
yeah, it definitely does, doesn't it?
Yeah,
it's too easy.
It's too easy.
That's the problem.
Yeah, and then the next one was about more tasks and more responsibilities. So because you think, or someone thinks, I'll get Claude to do it, you feel like you can take on that task or that responsibility. Agree or disagree?
Definitely agree with that. Yeah.
100% agree with this one.
Yeah. I mean, you could code your own website within Claude in 10 minutes time. That's something you wouldn't normally do, but you could do it.
I still don't want to do it.
No, I know you don't.
Stop trying to make me do stuff, Noel.
Yeah.
Okay, so the third one was you always feel on and you don't feel like you can switch off from business.
So,
agree or disagree?
For me personally, I would disagree, but I do agree with the sentiment. Like, because I've been there, done that, and come out the other side, thankfully. So yeah, I can see why people would fall into that trap.
Yeah, I do agree, because I'm thinking of business owners in general, and kind of very much blanketing everyone together. And just, I remember like my early years in business, and I just didn't have any boundaries. I was just working. Whereas now I'm kind of like, well, I mean, I will do something if I feel really excited, or if it's got, that real interest. But otherwise I'm like, no, it's a Saturday, or no, it's a Sunday. I'm not doing it. So yeah, okay. And then the last one, so it was about multitasking with AI and automations. It makes you feel productive, but actually maybe isn't, because of the different context and switching, and I guess like brain load.
Do I agree with that? I think I do. I think I do agree with it because, like I said, like the last week, I've been in that trap.
Okay, I think I'm also going to agree, and the reason why I agree is because I've seen you do
it. I was doing it just before we hit record on this podcast.
I know you were. I could see like your eyes darting about different screens. Not sat in front of 3 different screens, I'd like to add.
Claude's busy. He's off doing something for me at the minute. So.
I think what this episode really has highlighted is boundaries. You need to have your own boundaries within your business.
Definitely, yes. Yeah. And also I think it comes down to like education as well. So if you've got a small team that also use AI, it's kind of like training them that same mindset, isn't it? So they're not, going off and doing some random stuff, and they're creating documents for HR and they're in engineering or something.
It's making sure you are. It's the welfare, isn't it, of your team, if you do have one. But then you need to put in that own care and attention into yourself if it's just you, like you would a team. Or like, would I expect a team member to be doing this? Would I ask a team member to be doing this on top of everything else they've done today?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think that's really important.
Yeah, but there was one other thing that I noticed within this blog post. Is it all talks about chat LLMs? It doesn't talk about automations in there. So obviously I put it through Claude, and I was like, just to triple check that I'd read it right. And it was like, this is, so what basically the whole report was like looking at like 200 odd businesses, but the trap they were falling in was the ease of the chat model. So firing up ChatGPT or Claude and asking questions. Having that almost instant response kind of thing to, it was that chatting time that was taking up a lot of people's time, and it was becoming that was like kind of like the key issue. So I then started looking at this at the kind of a different way, and then thinking, well, hold on a minute, are they just using agents because they think they should, because Claude and OpenAI, ChatGPT are essentially an agent. So it's kind of like, well, if those sort of things were done by an automation, you don't have to sit there and watch it. Those sort of things just happen in the background. So you could tick a box in the CRM and then something goes off and happens, and then the job's done for you, kind of thing. You're not having to have that conversation, and back and forth, which can kind of, I guess, lead you down different paths as well, doesn't it? With the conversation, which could then think, oh, actually, I could code a tool that could do that, and then before you know it, you're off doing something completely different.
I feel like you can go down a massive rabbit hole as well when you're using, an LLM, because you'll ask it something or ask it to help you with something, and then it spits something else out, and then you're like, oh, I haven't thought about that. Start a new chat. And then, you're talking about something completely different to what you were talking about like just a couple of minutes ago.
Yeah. So what I guess I would kind of suggest is if you're asking ChatGPT or whatever the same stuff every week, or you have those common things, then start to look at putting those into an automation.
Yeah.
And and just let those run on autopilot. It doesn't take that much to do that these days. So, I would definitely look at that, because then you are generally saving time, because you're not having to type away or talk to it, and then you don't get distracted either.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's kind of quite important, I think, is the distraction part.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah, easily distracted.
Yes, yeah. Oh, squirrel.
Yeah. I mean, I think our attention is really, well, everyone's attention span now is shorter and shorter, isn't it? So
Yes.
yeah. And I think sometimes we're doing things and we don't even realise. Like, for example, we're asking, say, Claude to do something, it comes up with something we hadn't thought about. Oh, right, start a new chat. And then, yeah, you are chatting about something that actually wasn't even, not
Not relevant.
Not relevant, not on your to-do list. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess with chat models, you've also kind of got there's always those disclaimers at the bottom saying that obviously the responses you get back may not be accurate.
Yeah.
Things like that. Whereas I guess in an automation, you could train it in those specific tasks to give you what you need that's right first time, every time. You're not having to go through that loop of editing and, like we find with ChatGPT, arguing to get what you need.
Yeah, I mean, I've done arguing now with ChatGPT because we're not friends anymore. Me and Claude are besties now, I'm afraid. Sorry, ChatGPT.
Yeah.
But actually, we should mention this. This is one of our kitchen lunchtime chats. So, Noel, do you want to tell people what you asked ChatGPT? Was it yesterday?
I think it was over the weekend, actually. Yeah.
Dangerous.
I know. I looked through Substack, and someone had posted a picture of like a ChatGPT post with the response, and I initially read it and I thought, no, come on, that can't be true. Because these days you could put a ChatGPT response into something like Nano Banana, and then it could then edit it to make it look like it's an idiot kind of thing with a silly response.
Okay.
So posts can be easily faked, I guess. So I was skeptical, but the question was this: it was like, I need to go and wash my car. The car wash is 100 meters away. Should I walk or should I drive? Now, the obvious, like for a human being, that's obvious. I need to wash the car. The car wash is 100 meters away. I've got to take the car to the car wash.
Yes.
That would be the logical thing to do. So I put it into ChatGPT, and it came back with the same response I saw in this Substack post, which was, well, walk. I was like, what do you mean walk? And it was like going through all these different things, saying, well, if you walked, you're saving wear and tear with starting an engine from coal just to drive 100 meters.
Good advice.
You're getting exercise.
Good advice.
And it was like 6 points it come back with. And I was like, I completely missed the point here. So I stopped at that point, and I sent the exact same message to Claude, and it sent me a 1-sentence response, which was, well, of course you're going to drive because you've got to take the car to the car wash. I was like, thank you. Someone understands it. But I kept going back to ChatGPT. I thought, I wonder how long it's going to take it for it to twig what I'm getting at. So I said, well, as soon as I'm walking, should I take a bucket with me? Because I've got to have something to wash the car. And it was like, yeah, but if it's got like the jet washers and the foam brushes, then you could use those. And I was like, well, yeah, I could, but my car's still at home. And it was like, oh, yeah, that's a good point. But yeah, you probably should just take a bucket and fill those up while you're there. I was like, oh, come on. I had about 6 back and forths before it twigged and went, oh, actually, yeah, no, you should take the car. Yeah, because you need to wash it. And I was like, wow.
Wow.
Yeah. Use the right LLM for the right task is what I
Yes.
did.
That is the lesson
Finish
we have
that with.
learned today, along with bind your ears.
Yeah. But now I can see loads of videos of people doing something similar. So they've either asked that same question or they'll ask other similar style questions and then see what they get back. Some of the responses are brilliant. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. Good
Okay,
times.
so should we leave it there for this week?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we've covered a lot this week.
We have, and we hope you've enjoyed this week's podcast. Please feel free to subscribe, give us a like, or leave us a review. It really does help us. If you've got any questions for us, please either email us or leave them in the LinkedIn group. We love hearing your questions, and we will catch you next time for another episode very soon.